Hi, this is Senator Randi Becker. I'm the state senator from the 2nd Legislative District, and I'm so honored and pleased to be able to bring this video to you of our weekly interactions. You know, this is the end of the second week down here, and it's been one of the most interesting starts to a legislative session that I've ever encountered. I wanted to share with you, and you've seen it already, the stack of paperwork, and this isn't everything, just from the first week. Or from the first 2 weeks actually, but I have thrown away a lot after I've read it, and it's just amazing the amount of paperwork folks think that we'll read. This has been an interesting year, as you know, that we have a lot of issues before us, and issues in a different way than we've had in the past. And it's probably one of the most frustrating years because everywhere we turn, we've had some huge issues. I'm talking about the fiasco of the Department of Corrections releasing 3,200 people that should not have been released in the time frame that they were released, meaning early release. The fact that we can't get information from them, that we've actually had to go to the use of subpoena power that hadn't been used in years and years down here, just trying to get to some of the information. I'd say, okay, we've got a problem. But then we have the Western State Hospital. Western State Hospital is where we have mentally ill go, whether they're in Pierce County and they're being transitioned into that for an evaluation, etc. I read a 53-page report this weekend from a review that was done by the Commission, that's a reviewing body, in 2013, where the deficiencies were amazing to me, and as that's my background, I couldn't believe some of the deficiencies that I read. But then the federal government came in this year and actually said, we're going to shut you down. You have the potential to lose either, I think it's $65 million in federal funding if you don't meet these standards. Well, the standards are so simple in so many ways and yet can be so hard if you make them hard. They don't need to be. It's frustrating to me to see that particular thing going through that. You know, we've had the transgender bathroom issue. We've had another one that goes to another agency, and that is where we're trying to get computer systems. They came in, this is the information they gave us, and it's on a time and leave and absence a computer system. And it's basically what it does is it keeps timekeeping and attendance records. We started this over 3 years ago. The original estimate of the cost was $24.8 million. Those costs have now come up and they're asking for even more. And it's like pouring money down a rat's hole. It's like there's no accountability. They came in and they said, gee, we learned lessons from this. This is taxpayer money. This is frustrating to know that we've thrown $24.8 million down a rat hole and you've gotten nothing for it. The Healthcare Authority came before us in Ways and Means yesterday. A few years ago, because I'm on the JLARC committee, I wrote a bill that said if you do not get your reports in agencies in time, we will give you a little bit of an extension, but if you still don't get that report done, we're going to have somebody come in and do that report for you and we will take it out of your budget. Now that bill to me was critical because of what I'd been hearing in the past, but the Healthcare Authority yesterday, it just cemented that this bill is so critical. They have 8 reports that are not in on time. They are an agency that is telling us they're going to save us $250 million, and they haven't done that. They are an agency that their costs are going up, and we can't get the report that will tell us where we might be able to save money. A $250 million budget deficit from the Healthcare Authority is really nothing but insane. It is absolutely ludicrous that we can accept that these agencies do not get the reports in. They are setting this legislative body up to have to find $250 million in the year that's a short budget. It's unacceptable. I want my bill to pass. I want these people to be held accountable, just as we would in the private sector. If this happened in the private sector, I would have been fired. So would have anybody else. I really believe so strongly that this year it's out of control, and this is something that we're going to have to really, really address. Now, with all the negative things, I have to say there's been some really positive things too, in that our healthcare committee has had so many neat bills coming through. What we've done is we've focused on it has to help the patient. Anything we look at in healthcare is not about all the fluff and the grandeur around it, but it's what does it really do for the patient, and what is it really doing to lower the cost? And how are we making sure that that patient is going to get the best quality care they can? So I may sound a little grumpy this week, and I'm so sorry, but I have to tell you, you would too if you were down here listening to this. So let's hope the next week brings some positive light to that. I know that we have a lot of neat things we're working on, i.e. I'm working on telemedicine again this year. Telemedicine to me is a wave of the future, but how do we make sure that patient is actually getting the best care in that telemedicine? How do we reduce the costs because of telemedicine? So that's it for this week. I apologize for being grumpy, but this is your government. These are your tax dollars, and I really want you to have the straight and truthful and honest opinion of what's happening down here. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.